Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Timberborn Permadeath series. Wow, as you can see by the title, it's taken us 3 episodes to complete the design, just the design of our robot district. And that started with the idea of having a double power wheel inside a building, the law, keep the bad water away from the beavers. And I thought, well, may as well put the robot district on top of that. And it's turned into a ginormous build, but more on that later. This episode, we're going to discuss about the future of this Permadeath series. It's now run for a long time. And I think on that journey together, we've established some rules, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the future of this series, what that looks like. And yeah, let's kind of jump into this one. You can see that they've made a lot of progress on our water pumps at the front, and that's going to cause another problem of water at the back. But we're not going to deal with that on this episode. We are going to finish our robot district. Look at it. Isn't it absolutely fantastic? It's a monolithic city where the wheels of power are turning beneath, double deck. And then on top of that, we have built a city. And not only have we built a city, I realized that there's actually a metal mine behind it. And it only seemed right that these robots are going to be building themselves, so they're going to be able to supply themselves metal as well and mine it. So we start by working out how are we going to connect the robot district to our city. And we play around with a few ideas and a few designs until it becomes pretty obvious that we can just go straight across from our existing line that we've got down at the back and create a bridge that keeps it on one level, makes it look really neat. And that gets us across to the mine pretty efficiently and looks pretty good as well. The idea that this is going to be built anytime soon is just laughable. We don't have enough beavers, we don't have enough resource, and I do want to address that. And I will address it at the end of the video of actually the point of these permadeath series in the future of what the goal is going to be. And I can see a new series starting where we really hammer in on those rules, mainly because I've lasted so long. I honestly didn't think we would last as long as this, to where I'm building these structures, which I always fall into. I always build these insane builds. Normally they've got waterfalls falling off them, they've got rivers and things all integrated into them, and they're pretty beautiful things, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing them. But this permadeath series was certainly not meant to do that. And you can start to see that I'm going a little bit crazy this one with monuments on top of the building and going, oh, that needs power, so how are we going to get power to all of these different things and it looked good as well. So we managed to connect that to the saw and the metal factories, but the metal factories were already being powered from below. You can see where the mouse is now, it kind of goes across there. But what we've done here is we're trying to make a district that supports itself. So there's wood, there's metal blocks, there's gears, there's anything and everything you can think of except for grease and oil. And that was the next thing that I wanted to do. Well, we also need extract. If we're running that mine is going to need extract to run efficiently. And that's why we've got the treated planks as well, so it can run efficiently as well. And I thought, well, the bad water is flowing underneath the deck. Why not just delete one of the runs, delete 3 power wheels, which was quite painful to do, losing 3 power wheels. But in doing that, create a gap where we can basically get some bad water pumps going through the top deck. That can pull bad water straight out of that stream up to the top and into the processing factories for extract. It's a really nice solution, actually, and it looks, again, it's amazing when you build one of these decks. You can just go below, take power out of it, take a metro connection out of it, and even take bad water out of it. The one that we don't have is clean water coming through here. That's going to be an interesting challenge if I take it on, of can I create a channel of clean water coming underneath that deck? I don't think I can, because I don't want to delete anything above it. And if I start building a huge channel that goes underneath this thing, I'm going to have to start deleting everything on top of it. But we could always look at the side. We could have clean water flowing down the side. In fact, now I've just said that out loud, that's probably going to be the next episode, where I'm going to build a channel on the left and right of this thing and have water going around, because I do need to solve the problem of planting trees on the plateau that's out there so they have wood to be able to build from. But now we're also putting in things like charging stations and working out a way of how to get power to it. And now I've just seen it react the way it's just done as I was building it. I'm not sure it's gonna work, but I thought that I might be able to put power underneath the building and sit this thing on top of it, and that will power it. But now I've just seen what it did when I built it the first time. That might not work. We're gonna leave it. We'll build it in about 20 decades and see if it actually does work. I thought adding a power run like I'm doing right now and then sitting that building on top of it was going to be able to power the 2 extract factories and those charging stations. But now I watch this back and talk over this, I'm not sure if that's the case, but we'll see. So we created extract. That's going to be able to power the mine to do efficient metal. Oh, it might work. Sorry, I'm just, again, watching this back. It might work, because when I click on that, all the power grid comes online as the selection. So I think it does work. We'll see. This city up here was only meant to be a district, but it's only getting bigger. For the fact is, I work out that I need grease, which means I need canola oil, which means I also need to create oil presses and all of this stuff that, yes, I'm pointing out right there. I can take the crops from the farming district and I can create a new district path to transport that up to here. But honestly, I don't think food district's going to make enough oil to be able to feed this beast of a city. I mean, already I've got 8 sort of grease things up there, and then I have to put in oil makers. Now I'm putting in storage for the grease to go into, and this is storage for the canola. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, the canola seeds will go in there, but then I work out, well, it's okay having the canola seeds, but the canola seeds need to be made into canola oil in order for the extract and the grease to be combined to make the final product. I carry on. I go, okay, that's not a problem. All we're going to do is set it to what I want. And now we're going to put some oil presses in there. So it's no longer a problem. We can make oil. And we then start to build the pathway that connects it all together. Got a bit awkward here. Really, I probably should have removed all of this and pulled everything a block to the left so I could create another connection to the right. Pathway wise, I decided against it in the end, because there's a lot of metro entries they can use on this to get around. So transportation in this district isn't really a problem. It just runs down that central line. So if they need to get here desperately, they'll just take the metro. And this is me trying to work out, can I bring that path down to this area? But it was going to get too messy for me to build decks and all of this stuff to do it. So I kind of ignored it and carried on. And we're just bringing down that pathway down from the top deck and creating as much circulation as we possibly can. The better the beavers can move around these areas, the more smoothly everything runs. And I do need to make some hauler stations for this district as well. But again, I start to think to myself, how many robots am I going to need to have this thing fully operational, and are they worth it? I've never found a good use for robots on this game. It's because they're always a late game for me, and by the time I get to building them and getting them established, it's kind of, I want to start a new level. I'm going to try and not do that on this. I'm going to try and get to robots and learn how to use them. And that's going to bring me on to the topic at the end of this video of the future of this series, because I don't think this series is now being played in the nature of what I set out to do. I kind of got lost on the way, and I've fallen in love with this map and this build. I want to see all of this stuff finished. We've worked way too long and hard creating all of these designs. I want to see them working. And I've got a feeling the game is about to cheese me at any point. Remember the permadeath rules. We can't sacrifice beavers. We can't kill them off. There's only one source of water. If I get 2 back-to-back droughts, which could be 100 days and then a 5-day good weather and then another 100 days bad weather, that's it. That's game over. And that kind of brings me to the idea of talking about the permadeath rules. More on that later. So we're just finishing this off. I'm working out how to get power to the calculators at the end of the run here. It got a little bit messy. I always wanted these computers at the end of this, but I honestly didn't think I would use the whole deck building this city. I thought the robot district was only going to fill half of this, and that would be it. I've filled the entire deck. There's unless I go up to another level on top of this, there's nowhere to go. And I actually think I'm going to get to the top of the level where I can't build any higher if I go up another one. And that's obviously not an option that I want to do. So this is it now. This has been made. This has been designed. We're going to see if they can build it. I mean, there is a lot of stuff here that they've got to get to and build. I have no idea how they're going to build this. I haven't thought about access. I haven't thought about how they're going to bring the resources to build these decks. I might have to build a new scaffold on top of the entire thing so they can drop resources down to it, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. But sort of with that last connection, that was it. There we go. There is our robot district, and it is fantastic. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. We want to see it built. I'm now thinking of putting water down the left and right hand sides of it as canals. Oh, look, I just don't think it's ever going to be finished, but we'll get there. That leads us to the end of the video, and I kind of want to talk about the future of this series. I feel that I've gone away from the nature of what the permadeath was. Yes, we've been lucky. Yes, I haven't broken any of the rules, but turning off the birthing pods is starting to become a bit cheesy. It feels like I'm cheating. It feels like I was doing at the beginning of this series when I was sacrificing beavers, and we quickly made that a rule not to do that. But I've fallen in love with this build, and I've fallen in love with this sort of experiment. So I've got two options. I can either carry on privately and take this into my private game, and when I die on a permadeath, because I bring in the rules to make it more difficult. But then I thought to myself, that's a little bit unfair to you if you're a regular watcher that's watched this colony move on. So what I will promise you, when we die on permadeath, because we are now activating the rule of we're not allowed to turn off the birthing pods in a drought. When this colony dies of the permadeath rule, which it might or it might not, we might carry on going for a long time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this series, I'm going to make a new one and make it easy. And we'll focus on building crazy builds. We'll look at filling out the entire map. We will just build crazy things, and the videos will turn into more of a 30-minute, 40-minute thing. Unless anyone comments and says, no, they really like the playthroughs and they like to watch it in real time, then I might take it to Twitch. We'll see. Then what we're going to do is start the real permadeath series based on the rules that we've created. We're going to build a map together. And on that map, we're going to put everything in there that supports the rules. One source of water, underground caverns, you name it. I've never built a map before. We'll do it together, but we will start to make the first official beta version of a permadeath match, and we will play it, and we will see how far we go with it. And it will be very difficult because all the rules that we've established from day one will be active, including we can't turn off the birthing pods. Right, so now that's all said and done, you know the future of these videos. Again, we're going to run the permadeath rules now properly from this moment on. And if it dies, this video will then change into a sort of build video, a mega build video, and we will start a new series for the permadeath one. But until that happens, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.